the breathless reporting of quarterback completion numbers from OTAs is silly. I'll put it that way. I'll clean it up. Is silly. However, there is an insatiable desire to know. Like, I want to know, and you want to know, and the fans want to know. So I get it. Like, we're feeding the beast, and without fans that want to know, none of us have jobs. So I get it. Like, we're doing the right thing. Totally get it. I just caution against the over-analysis of these numbers.
That's fair.
Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Let's transition to the Browns. For those who don't know, I do the games for the Browns on the radio here. I am not there this week for OTAs. They have an OTA today, and the Browns will be back on the practice field tomorrow. And Kevin Stefanski and Jim Schwartz and Bubba Ventrone and a bunch of players will be talking tomorrow, as they did last Wednesday when Joe Flacco's comments were totally blown out of proportion. I was there for rookie minicamp. I saw both days of practice. I stood on the field and watched Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders throw the football. They both had really good moments. We were like, all right, I see it. There it is. And they both had moments where like, yeah, they're rookies. Perfect example. Shedeur's very first snap, his very first day at rookie minicamp, he bobbled it coming away from center because, hey, you're under center. That's different for most college quarterbacks making the transition. And then with the rush getting to him because he was late getting away from the line, he backpedaled, and then kind of like lofted it like 15 yards down, like to the sideline. And if that were a game, you were like, oh my God, it would have been like a disaster pit. Like,
sure.
And you're like, oh my God. But that was the very first play. From that point on, he looked great. He was throwing touchdowns. He was throwing back shoulders to local kids who ended up getting signed on the spot because they were tryout players. So all of the above is true. Both he and Dillon Gabriel had good moments, and they had rookie moments. Also true, both of them have been exemplary in the building and on the podium. Both in the classroom, in the community, with their teammates, with all the staffers in the building. No one's saying a bad word. I've done sit-downs with both Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur. Blown away by them both. Thought they were great. I knew Dillon a little bit. I did an Oregon game last year, had a production meeting with him last year, had interviewed him previously as well on the radio. I'd paid the guy to be my therapist. I think he's that mature. Shedeur had never met him. Obviously worked with Dad back in the day, broke the ice with Dad. Was very impressed by him. He's got $1 million smile, but there's some deep thought behind that smile. He's got a lot to say. He's introspective. I think he's got a great, broader perspective on life. At one point during the interview, you could see it on all the Cleveland Browns social channels on their YouTube. I tweeted the whole thing as well. I put it on Threads as well. I put it on Blue Sky as well. I thought at one point it was really telling. He looked at the camera and kind of spoke to young athletes, kind of, took a left turn and, cautioned young athletes about the perils of social media. I was beyond impressed with my first interaction with the guy. Spent about 15 minutes with him. Very, very impressed. But back to your initial question. The reporting of what happens in OTAs breathlessly and somehow using that to determine on a show, which is what we're doing right now, understandably, somehow determining right now who's going to start week one is beyond foolish. It is so foolish. It is June 3rd. Okay? It is June 3rd. We'll take the Browns, for example. They have a joint practice with the Eagles. They have a joint practice with the Panthers. They have 3 preseason games that this year truly do mean something. Truly do. Let it play out. They will each, those rookie quarterbacks, and Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco, they will each have a moments to shine. Okay? And look at Sam Darnold's red zone picks yesterday. Are they bad for Sam, or is it, hey, good for Julian Love? Let's praise the defender who made one of those picks.
Sure.
Dillon Gabriel's pick day 2 at rookie minicamp. Do you knock Dillon Gabriel? Yeah, he could have made a better throw. Or do you praise the 33rd overall pick, Carson Swessinger, the linebacker at UCLA, who made a nice play? There's another side to that bad play for that quarterback. How about the first pick, night 2, getting a pick in his second practice in the NFL? It goes both ways.
Yeah, but it ain't about that.
But let's scream on TV about how the quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers is clickbait.
Where is Aaron right now?
Great question.
But hear me out.
Right.
listen, it's made the rounds. It's been implied that he has some family stuff going on, right? People close to him or a person close to him that is battling a major health concern. Totally respectful. There is also an issue, I would think, of professional courtesy. Now, I don't know the conversations behind the scenes. Maybe he has, meaning Aaron, told the Steelers, listen, I am coming. I cannot tell you when, but I will be there at some point. And part of me truly does believe that that is what has happened, right? I'm coming. I don't know when I'm going to get there. Thank you in advance for your patience and understanding with this situation. I think that's what's happening. But I don't know that for certain. And I also don't know if it ever will happen. But you are almost to the point now where the offseason's over, right? Even if he were to show up today and sign, you're not going to really do anything else good tomorrow. You're going to get your 3 days of mandatory minicamp next week. But by that point, OTAs are used for install, right? DK Metcalf, install. Roman Wilson, who missed all of last year as a rookie wide receiver out of Michigan, right? Install. All the new stuff. So you're coming in, never having worked with Arthur Smith, and you are kind of starting from square one. At training camp, there's the ramp-up period. There are no more two-a-days. They ease you into camp, right? It's gonna be an uphill climb. It ain't gonna be easy. And you have to ask, if not now, then when? And if not now, will it be ever? And I've said repeatedly that if he doesn't want to go there, and to me, if you haven't said yes by now, at least publicly, then you probably don't want to go. Then just tell them, let them be free, let them live their life, and I will go home and wait for the phone to ring. Just wait. It's going to ring eventually. Injuries, unfortunately and sadly, are inevitable in this business, and maybe you'll get a better offer. And then be content with the fact that if it doesn't happen, you're fine. Like be at peace with the fact that you're not going to play again, and that is okay. That is okay. I just don't know what the actual answer is. And without him, that division looks a heck of a lot different. And the Steelers' place in the world looks a heck of a lot different. Would you have signed DK Metcalf if you didn't think you were getting Aaron Rodgers? I say signed, not only traded for, given up draft capital, gave up the second, and then you paid him all that money. Would you have done that if you didn't think you were getting Aaron Rodgers?
That seems like a big bet no.
The Steelers are not a cash-rich franchise. Steeler fans don't get angry. They can pay their bills. They're not poor, okay? But there is there's a wide spectrum when it comes to the 32 NFL owners as to how much cash you have on hand. Salary cap is one thing. Cash is another thing. Vastly different world among NFL teams. The Steelers pay DK Metcalf. They will have to pay Aaron Rodgers. It'll be a short-term deal, but they're going to have to write him a check. And